Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, March the 1st, 2022, and it's time for another episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we've got a very special birthday that we're going to tell you about.
And because it's the beginning of the month, we have a new club of the month to announce.
And we've got some news on this year's National Air Modeling Championships. All that and more coming up today on AMA Air. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
And I'm Lee Ray.
Hello, Lee. Thank you for being here today. I think it's probably fair we need to start with letting you guys know producer Dylan is not here today. He is on a very well-deserved vacation down south. So yours truly is going to be running the ones and twos behind the scenes. So if you see my eyes darting around and being slow on the gun, that's why. But
if anything goes wrong, it's Dylan's fault. That's all you have to know.
I concur. I think that's perfectly well said. Lee, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. I'll tell you, I have broken kind of one of the major rules of broadcasting. I've opened my window and turned the heat off. So, like, if you guys hear a motorcycle or a truck drive by, sorry, but it feels great in Indiana right now, and so I'm just kind of going with it.
We are live, folks.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. So there you go. It's going to be an interesting show. Let's just put it that way. So I'm going to be on my toes.
So I have to ask you, do you like my new shirt? I do like showing off my new shirt. I'm bringing this to an event this weekend, which we'll talk about later, but I wanted to show off my new shirt. I got in the mail yesterday. I washed it, and now I'm displaying an AMA shirt you guys can get at the shop. So
absolutely.
I'm modeling it for you. It's really comfortable. It's like a good golf shirt. I don't see Matt's AMA shirt, but but next time, right, Matt?
Next time. Yeah. Look, big shocker in the room. I'm a big dude. And it's hard to find clothes that fit big dudes like me. So I have to be. I can't be picky about what I wear. Let's just put it that way.
I'll get you a badge. I'll just get you a nice big badge.
I'll just Velcro it right there on the.
Exactly.
I'll look like one of those poker players that are sponsored sitting at the poker table. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us today. If you want to say hello in the chat, feel free to do so. We've got quite a few of you there already. Darren Hudson says hello. Jan Sundberg from Clovis RC in Central California. Hello to you as well. Yes, Darren, I'm big on AMA. That's accurate. But hey, this is not about me today. We actually want to tell you guys about something really special to kick off the show today. There is a very, very special person who has been a part of the air modeling community for many, many years, has a big birthday coming up this week on Thursday, as a matter of fact. And we want to start the show off by wishing her a very happy 100th birthday. And that is Hazel Sig-Hester. She was one of the founders of Sig Manufacturing. I'm sure all of you out there know Sig Manufacturing. They've been around since, I think it was 1951. And it's her 100th birthday this week. So happy birthday to Hazel.
I think they started with a huge pile of balsa, and it went crazy from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is awesome. Yeah, I'm a big builder of balsa too, so I can't tell you how much I appreciate their efforts to keep this hobby alive. And Hazel, so glad to have you here at your 100th birthday. It's amazing.
Yeah, Sig Manufacturing has just done so much for this hobby, and I couldn't let this episode of Air go by without wishing her a special happy birthday. And we're going to be talking a lot about Sig Manufacturing here on the show today to help celebrate and keep that celebration going. Darren Hudson, absolutely, it is a significant birthday.
I see what you did there.
Golf clap for you, sir. I really appreciate that. That was awesome.
Hey, and you know what? Interrupt real quick. Hey, guys, while you're in the chat room, start telling us any SIG kits that you have, because we'll be touching on that. So if you want to start sharing your SIG stories, please do so.
Yeah, and if you do, there's a sweet hashtag that we've got going on you can use. Share your SIG. Use that hashtag when you share those pictures and those stories. We'd love to check those out. Lee, I know you've got a huge history with SIG. You've built lots of SIG kits over the years, I think, right?
I have, and if we're like going back and forth, but there will be discussion in the future. But I did share a photo on our IFlyAMA page of my father with his favorite SIG kit. And thank you, Matt. Here's a photo of my dad that I took with my camera of my dad flying his SIG Twister control line model. And I guess got to tell you guys, these were the happiest days I remember of my dad. He just enjoyed flying that plane, and he would go out in the middle of the ring. He'd get his hand in his pocket, a cigarette in his mouth, and he'd just be flying the bejeebies out of that Twister and enjoying every moment of it, and just smiles on his face. So I know that meant a lot to him, and I'm just going to show you here real quick, if I don't spill it this time. But so I have a new in-box SIG Twister kit. And the reason I don't have the original, which I know Dylan wanted me to tell the story. So this is for you, Dylan. My dad's SIG Twister, great plane. He let me fly it. And I think maybe the second time I flew it, this is when he wasn't in the circle. This was me solo. I get about one turn around. I'm pulling it up for a wing over, and the nose separates from the rest of the aircraft. And I don't know if anybody else has had that issue, but it was just fuel-soaked plywood, balsa wood, and that was the end of life for the Twister. And I felt horrible. I tell you, just seeing my dad, but he was so good about it. He was like, "It's okay, son. It happens. You didn't do anything wrong. The engine just fell off the plane." So
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Sorry, Dad. It wasn't intentional. We had other control line planes we flew the rest of the day, but I'm just so glad to have this Twister. I got it at a swap meet earlier this year, and I'm going to convert it to electric, and fly it in his honor because it is a lot of fun.
I think that's awesome. I'm really anxious to see what ways you guys or what kinds of SIG aircraft you have. Again, use that hashtag share your SIG when you make those posts, whether it be in the IFlyAMA Facebook group or here in the chat on the show today.
Hey, Darren, I got a SIG 4-star 40. You have a 4-star 20, but I have a 4-star 40. Great planes, guys.
Absolutely. We're not the only ones that are taking some time out to celebrate SIG. There's actually a organization down in Australia. They sent this along to us. The EAA, they're helping to celebrate Hazel's 100th birthday as well. They've got a contest going on down there in Australia. So if you're watching us from down under, please check that out.
Yeah, I love that I got this flyer. We were already talking about doing a hashtag to share your SIG. And then I have to admit, this is a really nice flyer, and I'm so, grateful that, people appreciate SIG this much. But if you check out that flyer, they got a little prizes going on to do other hashtags. If you have our flyer, you can, show ours. This is the one we put on IFlyAMA. But again, it's just to celebrate the joy and the passion of model aviation, and again to give Hazel SIG our nod to say, we wouldn't be here without you guys. Without you guys creating SIG manufacturing.
Absolutely. And of course, you've probably seen this graphic on IFlyAMA and on our AMA Facebook page to help celebrate the life and dedication of an amazing ambassador to model aviation. And you can use that hashtag share your SIG to share your stories.
I just want to know if you could see the background image of that flyer. This was special to me, but I have a very old Tower Hobbies catalog from the 1980s. And so I scanned several of the SIG ads from that catalog to use as the background. And as a kid, that Tower Hobbies catalog is like the Sears catalog for children during Christmas. You just went through there and said, okay, I'll check this one. I want this plane. I want this plane. And I still feel that giddy today when I look through a Tower Hobbies catalog. And it was just bringing all those memories back when I was pulling up all the SIG kits. So good stuff.
Absolutely, so much history in that company. So we really appreciate that, and again, appreciate you guys sharing your SIG stories and memories, and sharing your SIG, basically using that hashtag share your SIG when you post those photos and stories. One of the other things that SIG Manufacturing has been really involved with over the last few years, they've been part of the EAA Young Eagles Build and Fly program. Something that was started up just a few years ago to help bring EAA chapters and AMA clubs together in a way to, building these really amazing SIG. Was an LT40, I think.
LT40 converted to electric.
Yeah. So it's just an amazing program. And Lee, I know you were out at the Blue Barn at Air Adventure last year and was witnessing some of this going on firsthand, right?
Oh yeah, I was telling you earlier, we could just do an entire podcast on the Build and Fly program for Young Eagles. And by the way, quick shout out to Joe Vermillion, who just stepped into the house, because I'm pretty sure we're going to have his mug up here in a second, because he has been part of the Build and Fly program as well. But guys, this is such a great program that is made for the EAA chapters to support Young Eagles. And Horizon Hobby and the AMA worked together to develop a whole kit with all the parts necessary to build this aircraft and to let these kids fly. And this video right here is a great example. We got to do that over at the at AirVenture. Although we didn't do all the building there, we showed everybody what the plane looks like, what is in the box, the contents. But we had some Young Eagles with their LT40s out at the site, and we flew them at AirVenture. I mean, that is such a magical moment to be able to fly in front of the EAA museum with all those people. So again, this is an excellent program, and partly because we used the SIG LT40 as the platform, which is a great trainer aircraft.
Absolutely. I remember at AMA Expo East a few years ago when we when that program was kind of launched, and
there he is.
You mentioned Joe. And we had to share this photo. This is Joe Vermillion on the right and Dan Landis over on the left, a couple of friends of the show. And they were there on hand to build one of these cadets during the show. Like, they sat there through the whole show. They missed out on everything because they sat behind the booth and built one of these airplanes, showing how, how simple it can be to get started in building one of these trainer aircraft.
I got to share, though, that my favorite comment from Joe was, I saw them working. I was there the entire weekend, and Joe just said, this is the last time I'm going to use a white monocoat, or white ultra coat for a long time, because I mean, they were all trying to cover that plane all day, but they did. It was a great achievement.
They did a fantastic job. So shout out to Dan and Joe both for chipping in during that event to put that together and showing how easy it can be done. And if you guys want to learn more about the EAA Young Eagles Build and Fly program, there's a really simple website you can go to, and it's right there at the bottom of the screen.
We'll give you 10 minutes to write it down.
If you don't want to write all that down, don't worry. We have something a little bit easier. We've got a bit.ly link here for you that you can write down as well, bit.ly/EAABAF. You could also just go to the EAA website, though. It's pretty easy to find as well. Lee, let's switch gears and talk about what you've got coming up this week, because you're going on a trip, and we've talked a little bit about it, but you've got to be getting excited at this point.
Oh yeah, the Perry swap meet in Perry, Georgia, the Georgia area modelers. Thank you guys for putting this on. I was not quite prepared to give you a history, so I'll go get that information and bring it back to you for the next show. But all I know is it's been on a bucket list of mine, because I hear so many of my friends in the hobby talk about this awesome swap meet, and it's probably the largest swap meet in the United States for modelers. And I've seen amazing stuff come back from these shows. So this week I'm heading up Thursday morning, early in the morning, with my buddy Fitz Walker and Kirk Jensen. We're driving straight through to Perry, Georgia, hitting the sack, and then getting up way early in the morning to head into the incredible facilities to check out all the sold out tables at the Perry Swap Meet.
Completely sold out?
Completely sold out. And I promise, guys, I will have photos that we'll share on Facebook and our other social media channels. But I'm also hoping with the good internet connection that I will do some live shows either on Facebook or YouTube. So stay tuned to our pages, and maybe you'll catch us. And if so, and while we're walking through, feel free to give us live comments.
Are you guys going to be selling anything while you're there?
I got a couple of these bad boys. I'm going to sit here and show you all my. Let me tell you what I got to the show. No, I am selling some stuff. I do have a couple of power supplies I'm selling, so be on the lookout for that. But it was fun. Is we put up a couple of our items on for sale ads and just told people we're going to be at Perry, and all three of us have already sold stuff because we're delivering them. We're hand delivering them to Perry, Georgia, because that's just the meeting spot. So yeah, I hope it does well. I don't have anything big in mind. I've got my dream plane, my yellow aircraft P-38, so I'll probably get components for that. But otherwise, I just want to go in like a kid in a candy store and just enjoy the moment, and hopefully share that with some of you, and especially those of you who haven't been either, so I can give you my impression of what it's like.
There you go. Well, and if you guys are also interested, we have a couple of AMA representatives that are going to be there as well. Tony Stillman, our technical and safety director, is going to be on hand, as well as I heard on the rumor mill that Joyce Hagar is going to be there as well.
Yes.
So
yeah, mainly the AMA booth.
Yeah, if you guys have AMA questions for them, and you're going to be there at the show, feel free to track those folks down and ask away. Of course, Lee's going to be there. You can ask him as well. Or just say, if you just want to stop and say hi, I'm sure they'll all appreciate a friendly hello as well. Before I forget, I want to make sure that I get this on here, because Joe Vermillion commented, and he's absolutely right. And I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't mention that Dan Landis's dad, Richard, was also on hand at that expo helping build those SIG planes. So I totally forgot that, and he's absolutely right, and he played a huge role in that as well. So shout out to Richard Landis as well. So thank you, Joe, for that reminder. I appreciate that for sure. Well, Lee, here's the deal. I'm going to use this as my segue for the AMA podcast. You all are welcome. You're going to be on the road for, what was it, like 12 hours or something crazy like
that? Crazy. Yes, crazy hours.
A lot of time. There's a lot of time in the car where you could be having conversations, but you could also be listening to the podcast. And we just released a brand new podcast episode just yesterday. You can go to modelaircraft.org/podcast to check it out. But you might hear somebody kind of familiar on that one. Maybe.
I hope he's not too annoying.
We did an episode about air modeling photography. You guys have heard me talk about this on the show. That I'm very passionate about photography, and Lee is also an incredibly talented photographer. And I brought him on, as well as Jenny Alderman, who works for our Model Aviation publication. She does a lot of photography for the magazine as well. And we brought on David Hart, who is an insanely talented aviation photographer. We all kind of had a little roundtable discussion about how we got into photography, how we got started photographing airplanes, and kind of what it's meant to us over the years. So I would really encourage you guys to go check that out. Again, you can go to modelaircraft.org/podcast and put that on during your road trip if you're heading down to Perry this weekend. It was a lot of fun talking to you guys. So
it was, Matt, same here. I got to tell you, we warmed up really quickly to each other, because that's kind of what it's, that camaraderie. We use that word in the podcast, and it was just fun to hear our stories, our personal stories, how many similarities we have as well. And how much you guys hate wedding photography.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about that, didn't we?
Nobody likes wedding photography, but y'all have to figure it out for yourself. Go listen to the podcast. You'll hear the joke.
Absolutely. But yeah, so coming up after this short break, we're going to be bringing you the IFlyAMA segment of the show, as well as tell you a little bit about the National Air Modeling Championships coming up this summer. But stick around, because all that and more is coming up, and we'll be right back. Make STEM education energizing and fun with the AMA's International UAS for STEM competition. This challenging team event is a great way to experience the exciting world of unmanned aerial vehicles. Teams start with ground school, then present at semifinals showcasing their unique builds and designs. Top scoring semifinalists receive an invitation to compete at EAA Oshkosh Air Venture 2022. Sponsorship opportunities are available. Find out more by visiting uasforstem.org. Said, are you ready? Are you ready for IFlyAMA? That's right. It is that time of the show where we share with you all the fun stuff going on over at the IFlyAMA Facebook group. If you want to get involved, all you got to do is go to facebook.com/groups/IFlyAMA, answer a couple of questions so we know you're not a robot, and you can come join us in that community where we share all sorts of tips, tricks, photos, stories, you name it. I think there's been a little bit of everything over there. So head on over and join today. But we're going to do something a little bbit different than what we normally do because, again, we're really kind of helping celebrate SIG manufacturing and celebrating Hazel Sig-Hester's 100th birthday. And just the other day, Lee, you put up a post on IFlyAMA that tried to get that discussion started a little bit and to get folks to share some of their cool SIG stories. And we thought we'd pick a couple from that post, a couple of comments that were in that post to share with you guys. So Lee, why don't you kick that off for us?
Okay, well, I got to say thank you everybody who responded to the post. It's so wonderful. I can't wait to share that link with Sig and her family, Hazel, and her family. And I just went through. I didn't pick mine. I know I started everything, so you can look at the top, and those are my little stories. But I liked that James Hubble shared this really neat photo of the clipped wing Sig. Oh, excuse me. Well, the Sig clipped wing Cub. There you go. That Hazel Sig signed for him last year at an event. I love that. I just love that. That's the passion people have, that they really appreciate the efforts and took the time to have her sign their kit. So I pray he keeps that cardboard in one piece and mount it on the wall or something. Don't throw that away. That's a keeper. And I can't wait to hopefully he builds that plane soon and shares it with us again on the IFlyAMA group.
Absolutely. So I also found one that it caught my eye. It's forewarning, this is a little bit different, but it caught my eye, and it really helps encapsulate that idea of brand loyalty. I know your brand, you've got brand loyalty yourself, Lee. We talk about it on the podcast. Actually, you're very much a Canon guy, Canon shooter. and as a musician, I'm very brand loyal to certain guitar manufacturers. We all have this brand loyalty, but we had one gentleman that shared a post that I think really showcases his brand loyalty to SIG manufacturing that I thought was perfect for today's episode. And that was Mr. Nick Ziegler. He shared his tattoo that he had made up that used his name and kind of combined it with the SIG logo. And how more loyal can you get than to tattoo the logo of a company on your body?
You want me to show you my AMA tattoo? No.
Okay. Hey, now this is a family show. This is a family show.
I know. Just have fun with you. That's impressive. That is very impressive.
That's commitment. It's impressive. But I couldn't help but share that. I thought that was awesome. Makes me kind of want to think about maybe putting how much could I get for a company to have me tattoo their logo on my leg? Wow. Could I get some money out of that? I think I probably could.
Well, I don't want to stop there because Nick shared a lot of photos of his SIG aircraft. So you clearly see that he has a passion for those aircraft. So thanks, Joe, for sharing that. Joe shared that. I'm not sure if he's talking about that or my AMA tattoo, but thanks, Joe. Yeah.
The answer to that is yes. So there you go, guys. Thank you, both of you, for sharing your SIG stories there on the IFlyAMA Facebook page. If you guys, again, have not yet joined the IFlyAMA Facebook group, go to facebook.com/groups/IFlyAMA, answer a couple questions there, and you are in the community to enjoy all the cool content that we have to share with you there. We do, however, have one more thing we need to get off of the books here for the IFlyAMA segment, and that is to cover our cover photo contest winner for the month of March. This is going to be on the cover photo for the IFlyAMA Facebook group all throughout the month of March. Lee, are you ready for the drum roll?
I'm ready for the drum roll. Hit it.
There it is. This is Colin Clohan. Sky Raider is the winner for the March cover photo contest on the IFlyAMA Facebook page. Congratulations, Colin.
Colin is a team member for the Legend Hobby flying team. So thanks, Colin. There's a great photo. I'm assuming that's the Legend Hobby A1 Sky Raider. It looks great. I think he's also doing some more detail work on it. So it's still a work in progress, but that is a really nice photo. And I'd love to see some flight videos. So Colin, don't forget to share that.
Yeah, you could actually put that in the comments of the cover photo when we get it up there. I think that would be awesome to see some flight footage of that. Well, guys, if you are interested in including your photo for contention to be the cover photo winner of the month of April, because that'll be coming up next, we'll have a post up at the very top of the IFlyAMA Facebook group for you guys to submit your photos to become the winner of the April cover photo contest. So looking forward to that. Yeah. Just checking the comments here.
That's for me. Hey, Jan. He's got a yellow aircraft P-38, and I know he recently acquired it, made some changes, and I saw his video. So good job, Jan. Mine's not flying yet.
Joe says he has a Balsa USA logo. Very cool, guys. Well, it's also one of the things we do on the first episode of the month is talk about the AMA Club of the Month. And Lee, I believe you've got the info, so why don't you let us know who is the March Club of the Month?
Our Club of the Month is the Riley County Flyers. You got the photo up there? There you go. They're from Manhattan, Kansas. There you go. And we'll just leave this here. It's just so pretty. So just look at the photo, Zen moment. It just looks like that is a great day to fly, doesn't it?
I really need that photo blown up and printed on my wall. I really do.
Yeah. And so good. I want to start by saying the selection we have for Club of the Month does not just deal with leader clubs or large clubs. It's all of our clubs. And so I actually did pick Kansas as a state I wanted to find. I just looked through several clubs, and this is a very small club that's in a state park. It's part of the Tuttle Creek State Park. And I like the facility. I like the looks. I like the view. And I was like, that's where people just want to go to and relax and enjoy this hobby. So guys, this is our Club of the Month. I really like it. And so let me tell you a little bit about them. They've been around since the 70s, and they've had 2 other locations until they settled here in this state park. So they lease the land from the state park, but they have access to all the other facilities there. They're right on the edge of Tuttle Creek Lake and next to the dam. So you can see the photo, walking distance away from enjoying the lake view. They have 2 grass runways. The main one is 500 feet by 50. The second, or crosswind, is 300 by 50. They've got concrete pilot stations, safety startup stands, assembly tables, bleachers, picnic tables, and the piece de resistance, porta potties. So yay for porta potties. And if you look at this aerial view again, guys, it's in the spring, like when everything is green and so forth. It's got to be epic. It's probably got some of the best pictures you can take while you're there. And thank you so much. I don't get the name of the person who did the aerial photography there, but that's awesome. They only have one big fly-in a year, and that's in June. And that's probably when it's really pretty there. And it's almost smack dab in the middle of the country, guys. If you go find it and look at it, it's just right in the middle. But again, I encourage all of you to look at other clubs besides the big ones. And you can search for clubs using our website by going to modelaircraft.org/clubs and put in your zip code and a mileage range and find other clubs in your area. And if you're traveling, I encourage you to do the same. So if you have time to find out what other clubs might be in a place you're visiting. So again, thank you so much for the Riley County Flyers for being Club of the Month, and really appreciate that they're keeping their hobby together and since the 70s. So kudos to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's such a cool thing to be able to recognize these clubs. And again, like you said, clubs of all shapes and sizes, of all sorts of demographics and disciplines that fly there. We've just got such a wide array of clubs out there. There's something for everybody. So we love showcasing some of these clubs, and I appreciate you sharing the Riley County Flyers with us today. Something else we wanted to share with you guys today is the fact that the registration is now open for the National Aeromodeling Championships for 2022. You can head over to modelaircraft.org/NATS, where you can find some blog posts from NATS News over the last couple of years. We have the 2022 schedule here as well, so you can find out the dates of all the events right there. And you can also register by clicking that register button there on the top right corner, where you can get a list of all the different SIGs who are running the events throughout the National Air Modeling Championships this year. We are excited. We're looking forward to all the competitors coming out this summer. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be out there taking as many pictures as I can and sharing them out with you guys on social media. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the National Air Modeling Championships, if you guys haven't competed yet and you've thought about maybe wanting to compete, man, now's the time to do it. Let's come on out this summer and have some fun.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
I'm rambling. You know me. I'm going to get on a topic about NATS.
Hey,
keep going, Lee.
You can ramble all you want. It ain't bothering me a bit. One of the other events coming up this summer is the National Fun Fly. And guess what, guys? Registration's open for that too. Head over to modelaircraft.org/funfly, where you can register for the National Fun Fly June 24th through the 26th here at the International Air Modeling Center in Muncie, Indiana. If you want to have a table at the swap shop, if you want to be a pilot, if you want to be an exhibitor, all three registration links there are ready to go for you. So head on over again to modelaircraft.org/funfly. It's going to be a lot of fun that weekend. We're also having the membership meeting is going to be happening that weekend as well.
Yeah.
And I believe last I heard, we're probably going to be live streaming that again this year. We did it last year. We're probably going to be doing that again this year, I assume. I might have just signed myself up for something that I didn't know I was signing myself up for, but hey, I think that's the thing that's happening. So for sure, head over to modelaircraft.org/funfly and register today. I want to point out something that Joe Vermillion just shared in the chat. Check out nasascale.org for more info on RC Scale. They are the SIG that handles the RC Scale NATS. So definitely go check them out. One of my favorite events personally. I love scale airplanes. I think they are just gorgeous. I take my parents over there to check them out every year because they're just fascinated by how detailed these airplanes can be and how big some of them are. So thanks for sharing that, Joe. I appreciate that. So yeah, National Fun Fly. One other thing we did want to mention, because he is a really good friend of the show, Mason Hutchison from Stratolaunch. They had their fourth test flight the other day. Was it Friday? Thursday or Friday? Help me out, Lee. Do you remember?
One of those 2 days. Last week.
It was one of them days. First of all, if you aren't familiar with Stratolaunch, it is right now, I think it's the world's largest airplane from wingtip to wingtip. Yeah. It is just an insane behemoth of an aircraft. And Mason is one of the engineers on that project, and he's a good friend of the show. And we wanted to congratulate them on a very successful fourth test flight. They were actually testing out the landing gear this time. They brought the landing gear up and then back down to make sure that all that worked. So as you can see in this video, it was a successful landing.
But did you mention that he was hosting a live YouTube?
I didn't. So actually, this video that you can find on YouTube, he actually was one of the people broadcasting on the show, which was awesome. I didn't know Mason had it in him, but he was great. So congratulations to Mason.
He could replace either one of us.
He actually could. He's better than I am. I'll say it. No shame for me.
I don't see Mason here, which is sad because this, we were plugging this because he normally joins us for these live shows. So shame on you, Mason. But I want to tell him that I learned something, and I shared this with Matt earlier. But the nickname for this aircraft is called the Rock. If you do the answer, don't say it, but I'll tell you those who don't. But he was telling us that they try to give short nicknames for items because they don't want to keep saying Stratolaunch. So they call it the Rock. And it's based on a mythological creature that was so big that it could lift an elephant. So that's how they got the nickname The Rock. So there you go. Now you know why it's called The Rock. Ta-da!
I just thought somebody was a fan of Dwayne Johnson. That's all.
He probably takes credit.
It's spelled different, but that's okay. We did get one comment that just came in. David McGee wanted to thank Lee for the Club of the Month piece. He said, we are growing and looking forward to more Flyers on the field. So he must be coming from our Club of the Month for this week.
He's the secretary of the Riley County Flyers.
Ah, very cool. Well, congratulations, David, and congratulations to your entire club. That's awesome. And thank you for watching the show.
You've got to add Joe's. This is for Mason. The Rock couldn't lift his head. Joe.
Well done, Joe. We appreciate that. Well, listen, we appreciate all you guys tuning in and watching today on AMA Air. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, we want to wish Hazel Sig-Hester a very happy 100th birthday this week. If you guys have enjoyed the show, we'd love it if you click the like button down below, share with your friends, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff that you're supposed to do on YouTube videos and Facebook
bring a friend
videos.
Next time.
Hey, bring a friend. That's a great idea.
Hashtag bring a friend for the next live show.
They log in on their own computer and don't share a computer. That way we get double the views.
Yeah. I was sent by hey, this is how prizes are created. They just come up with some fun little gag and go, wait a minute, we could make this a contest. So
yeah, exactly. And if you guys are not yet a member of the AMA, we appreciate if you head over to modelaircraft.org/join. You can find out all the cool things that AMA is doing for our hobby and for you as members. So we appreciate you go checking that out. And for all of us here at the AMA, we appreciate you guys watching AMA Air today. And until next time, we will see you later.